Hello everyone, I'm Brainerd Carey, Director of Praxis Center, and today I want to talk a little bit about community for artists and sharing your art. So we've talked a lot in these videos about all different aspects of art practice, from residencies to grants to museums and reaching galleries and consultants and the many ways of getting your work out into the world, no matter where you are in the world. Another issue that's really important is, where is your community? Who are the people that support you? Where are your people, so to speak? In other words, every artist is making work, you're making work, and what partly we all need is a community that supports that work, right? You you could have an Instagram channel or TikTok or YouTube or something else, and that's one way of bringing in your community. But by community, I also mean people who relate to, understand, and are really your fellow artists. And as an artist, depending on what medium you're using, that could be very different, right? Depending on where you are in the world, that could be different. There's so many different types of art that can be made. There's so many different types of artists that finding your community, your people, your supporters is critical to the health of your practice, right? Because when we're surrounded with people that like what we're doing, when we're surrounded with people that are saying helpful things, it's enormously supportive, and it helps us not only to continue to make art, but also to continue to improve our work. So how do we find these people, this community of artists? Well, there's a number of ways to do it, and I want to go over a few of them today. One way, which I'll encourage you to do, is to share your art right here. Post it right here in the comments, post a link to your website. And when you post here, let's say you're posting under this video a link to your website or an image of your work, what you're looking for and what is possible is that other artists who are watching this video will think, oh, I like that work, and comment on it. And that begins to build a community. You can then follow that person. But there's one thing that's really important about this. So let's say today you watch this video and then you decide to post an image of your work below. You post a link to your website. That's great, and people may comment on it or not. But the way to be sure that people are commenting on it is to find other people here, hopefully that are also posting their work, and comment on their work. Not just with a like or a love or one or two words like "that's great," but say something like, wow, I've never seen ballpoint pen used that way. I've used ballpoint pen myself, but was never able to get shading the way you're getting it. Something like that. Or, that's really interesting what you're doing with that canvas. Are you using encaustic on there? I don't understand what that medium is. Something, make a comment that isn't just a few words, because this is what builds community. Really, it's not about likes and short comments. It's about sincere comments, and it's about sentences. So again, you can post your work below here in these comments, but the way to get more comments and build your community is also to comment with sincerity and with a sentence or more that's meaningful on other artists' work here that you actually like, that you actually feel you relate to. So that's one way, of course, right? In social media, whether you're using Instagram or TikTok or the many other forms out there, but let's just focus on Instagram for now, it works similarly. So if you're posting an Instagram and you want to kind of bring in your community, right, by having other people comment on your work or post about your work, that's great. What you want to do is post your work, say, I'd love to know what you think about it, or just post a work. And often people do things like say, I'm between two titles on this, the end of the world and a new sunrise. What do you think is the best? Asking questions is nice, but you can also just post your work and say, this is recent work, I'm excited about it, or just post the work with hashtags. But then what's important is to comment again on other people's Instagram posts. So if while you're looking through Instagram, you see other artists and you think, wow, I like this person, I relate to this. This person is the kind of artist that I want to be around. This is my people, this is my community. comment on that. You're creating a friendship. So comment on their post, but comment on it with more than a couple of words, with more than a like, with more than a love or anything like that. Comment on it in a sincere, in-depth way by explaining a little bit about exactly what you mean by liking their work. Tell them in detail what you like about it. Ask the artist a question about their work. And when you do that on Instagram, in a comment on another artist's site, or even with a curator, first thing they do is they think, who is this wonderful person that's commenting on my work? And that's exciting, right? So what they'll do is click on your link immediately, and they'll look at your work, and they'll look at the first image there, and they may or may not comment, but they'll be in a position of wanting to comment. And that also builds community. Because you're having followers now that you're engaged with, that you can now exchange art with or talk to people about. So those are two ways right there. There's posting below here your website and commenting on other people in this video. There's doing something similar on Facebook. And then there's also inviting people to something that's community based, right? Something that is like a live Zoom talk where everybody talks about their work a little bit. Now, no matter where you are in the world or what capabilities you have, if you're able to host a Zoom talk, or there's a number of ways to do this. You can do parties in different mediums and different formats, where you invite several people, similar to what's happening on Clubhouse. And you can do this in Clubhouse too. Clubhouse is a great way to start an art room. It's open to everybody now, and begin just talking and building a community. So I think that's the last one I'll mention is Clubhouse, because Clubhouse is really a great format to kind of talk and see if you're relating and building a community with the people that you're talking to. And I really like Clubhouse because, unlike a lot of other formats, it feels very intimate. You don't have to show your face, and your Instagram is usually linked to it so people can see your art. But it's a way to just sit back and listen, or jump into the conversation whenever you can. And this is really the definition of a community, right? You're sitting in a room of people, of artists. They're talking about their art. They're talking about what interests them or what doesn't interest them, what they're excited about or what they're upset about. And you can decide to jump in and talk if you want to jump in and talk, or ask to jump in and talk if you're not a co-host on something. So Clubhouse is also a way to kind of experiment. And if you're not using it right now, I'd consider trying it and looking into it and seeing where you can possibly begin a conversation. And it can start again with just listening, right? You go to a Clubhouse room that's about art, just listen. And you'll hear right away, do you relate to those people's work? And if you hear someone talking that you like, well, then you can check out their Instagram, very quickly while they're talking, and even refer to some of their art. And you'll see right away, wow, I like this person's art. And you can build a community through Clubhouse, which honestly I'm a big fan of. I think that's one of the mediums that works really well. So in conclusion, I want to say those are the ways to build a community, but one of the ways is also, as I said first, to post your link below right here. Let's see your art. Let's see what you're making. And if you want other people to comment on it, anytime someone else posts in this thread, if you like their work, comment on it, and comment on it with a sentence. Be sincere, be complete. If you can, be complimentary, and they will return the favor. Again, I also talked about Instagram and Clubhouse, which I think are both important ways to also build a community. So you can try those as well as posting your link below in the comments. Again, the link below could either be to your website, or it could be an image of your work, whatever you want to post. But we're trying to meet each other, right? We want to say hello. We want to take an interest in each other's work. So click below, and if you want to, and just put in a comment and put in a link to your work or an image of your work, and I'll certainly reply. But I also think that the idea is to build a community with other artists. So when they post, keep coming back and see if anybody else has commented, and comment on their posts. And again, you'll also, if you follow them, if you really like somebody, you can go to their Instagram and again make full sentence comments there. and you'll see a community will build. You have an enormous selection of artists to choose from out there, right? We have the world of artists working in all types of ways, all types of formats and mediums. So it's a great time to reach out to other people, because the community of artists has never been bigger, which means that your community, your particular following, your people, your group, your tribe is also out there. And you can cultivate that, you can curate that by selecting and choosing the people that you want to support and the people that you want to support you, which is essential, I think, to an artist's well-being and career. Thank you for watching this today. I look forward to seeing your links below, and I wish you well in your artistic practice.